I feel relieved after I've gone ahead to learn that Thomas Tuchel has gone ahead to obviously impress Sir Jim Ratcliffe. It's not because that I want Erik Ten Hag to be sacked, but I'm fed up of all this. I'm fed up of this drama. 2 weeks now, ever since we won the FA Cup, and we don't know the stains of the board of Manchester United and the future of Erik Ten Hag. And today, Tuchel impressing Sir Jim Ratcliffe is a story that obviously shows us that maybe next week is going to be the day when Manchester United is going to come out and say it's over with Erik Ten Hag. And remember, Fabrizio Romano brought us a story confirming to us that these two found themselves in a position of really doing the needful together, and they had discussions and they discussed this guy internally, that is Thomas Tuchel, and now Christian Falk coming in from Germany, and with Thomas Tuchel being a manager, right, who is based in Germany, and we know what he was been doing at Bayern Munich, and Christian Falk being one of those people at the forefront of revealing us the news concerning Thomas Tuchel. This is a fact. It's not a lie. It coincides with exactly what Fabrizio told us, that Thomas Tuchel had discussions with Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Fabrizio Romano told us that they were internal discussions, and now Christian Falk of the Bild coming in from Germany has confirmed to us that they met in Monaco and they had a lengthy discussion. I'm going to be hinting on what the two went ahead to obviously discuss, and how this man known as Thomas Tuchel went ahead to impress Erik Ten Hag. Welcome to the United Matters channel. It says Sunday, it's the 9th of June in my country. It happens to be a Heroes Day, and we are here to bring you the latest news and information as far as everything is concerned. And let's not forget to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. How does that happen? After subscribing, hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this channel. We are also going to be talking the new contract that is on the table for Jonny Evans at the club of Manchester United, and Wayne Rooney digging deep into the career of Pep Guardiola and Sir Alex Ferguson. So, how many likes? 300 likes marking this video. I know it might not be a story that most of you will want to hear, but it's what is on the cards. Let's not lie to one another. It's what is on the cards right now. Thomas Tuchel is going to impress Sir Jim Ratcliffe. The Muslims, Barakallahu fikum, to the Christians, we cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. And Christian Falk, coming in through from the Bild, has told us that Thomas Tuchel has greatly impressed Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Manchester United, and how exploring the appointment. So, Thomas Tuchel has gone ahead to impress the guy, and Man United are exploring the appointment of Thomas Tuchel. Now, what did Thomas Tuchel tell Sir Jim Ratcliffe that moved him? He said that there was a meeting in Monaco last Tuesday between Thomas Tuchel and Sir Jim. Tuchel revealed his plans if he were to take over the Man United manager job. Tuchel explained to Ratcliffe how he could get United sporting problems like Sancho and Mount back on track. And he concluded by, Tuchel mentioned Antonio Rudiger as an example that he has already succeeded in the past at getting players with great potential back to full performance. Now, when you look at the statements that Christian Falk is really revealing to us, that Thomas Tuchel really put up in the face of Sir Jim Ratcliffe to impress him, and if Sir Jim Ratcliffe was impressed by those statements, then he doesn't know what football is all about. Why? I don't want to hear a manager coming through to Manchester United talking about Jadon Sancho and Mason Mount. You know, Erik Ten Hag is not the problem to any of those problems. For Mason Mount, it's clear he has been injured. He has been injured. That is it. And getting him back on track is not on Erik Ten Hag. So you think Erik Ten Hag has failed to get the best out of Mason Mount? The answer is no, because Mason Mount played the first two games and he saw to it that he was really going to fit into that team in the glove, and he was like gonna really do the needful. And even when he came in through and scored a goal against Brentford, he couldn't obviously keep the momentum and he went ahead to get injured. So you think Eric Ten Hag is the problem for the injuries that Mason Mount really had? That is a red flag for me. And if that impressed Sir Jim Ratcliffe, then he's not really competent, and he's not informed about the job of Manchester United and how to run the club of Manchester United. When we go to Jadon Sancho has not only failed to play, under Eric Ten Hag, but he has failed to play even under the manager that signed him, that is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He came in through in the summer of 2021, and when you look at his numbers, they are really, 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 really very shocking. Let's see Sancho here, because people might think that Eric Ten Hag has been the problem for Jadon Sancho. Sancho has failed to thrive under 3 managers, right? And I think it's under Eric Ten Hag that we went to see the spark of Jadon Sancho. Under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he failed. Under Ralf Rangnick, he failed. Under Eric Ten Hag, that's when he came up and obviously showed us that Sancho can do this. Let me show you, or let me defend my point. Under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, in 2021-2022, 29 games in the Premier League, 3 goals, 3 assists. You get? Under Eric Ten Hag, by the way, I think he scored these 3 goals under Ralf Rangnick. Under Eric Ten Hag, in his first season, 2022-2023, Jadon Sancho played 26 games and scored 6 goals and 3 assists. It's his best season for the club of Manchester United, 2022-2023. That's the best season for Jadon Sancho, And the previous season played only 3 games, 0 goals and 0 assists. You get? His best season at Man United has been under Eric Ten Hag. And how can a manager like Thomas Tuchel sell lies to Sir Jim Ratcliffe that I'm going to really get that guy back, I'm going to really revive his career? That is a lie. That is a lie that I'm not going to even accept in here onto this channel to obviously be traded. You can't tell me that Thomas Tuchel is really fronting that to Sir Jim Ratcliffe to impress him. You get? That is a lie. And he's selling lies. You get? Now, if Sir Jim Ratcliffe is the man who stands on his words, and he wants the next big things to obviously be developed at Manchester United and be turned into players, why is he going in for a manager who is not known for grooming young talent? At Bayern Munich, Hoeneß came out and told us that this guy should leave the club of Bayern Munich because he cannot develop young stars. The Musialas are here. He wants complete articles, all finished articles. He doesn't want raw diamonds. But for Eric Ten Hag, ever since he came in here, I can read to you plenty of raw diamonds that he has gone ahead to polish and turn them into good players. Look at Malacia. Apart from him being injured for the previous season, but his debut season was really very magnificent. Camboala, raw diamond. You get? He has gone ahead to turn him into a very good player. Kobe Mainoo, he needs no further explanation, and I don't even have a lot to explain about that. We go to Alejandro Garnacho, raw diamond. He has turned him into a very good player. Rasmus Højlund, player with huge potential, and the manager that is turning him to be what he's supposed to be is Eric Ten Hag. Look at Amad Diallo, Look at Danny Go, Look at very many other players that Eric Ten Hag has gone ahead obviously getting through and obviously turned them into superstars. And I'm sorry for Ineos. If they're bringing in this guy, I'm sorry for them, because he's a manager who operates on a budget. That is it. And they must have a very huge budget to obviously operate. So if Sir Jim Ratcliffe has gone ahead to get impressed by those lies traded to him by this guy, then he is really naive when it comes to managing Manchester United. And I tell you, Tuchel has to prove me wrong to obviously be his number 1 fan and really get his back. That is it. You get? And Tuchel, I don't understand why managers don't understand what's taking place at Man United. Every manager at Man United will come in through and really have a very good debut season, apart from David Moyes. Van Gaal did, um, Mourinho did, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did, Erik ten Hag did. But you have to ask yourself, what happens in the second spell? That is it. The players down tools. You get, and Thomas Tuchel is a high intensity manager. You know, one of the players that don't want to run in training is Jadon Sancho. He arrives late, and you tell us that you're going to revive his career. A player that even Borussia Dortmund don't want to re-sign. You understand? So Thomas Tuchel, those are lies. And Sir Jim Ratcliffe, we wait for the appointment of Thomas Tuchel next week. That means Erik ten Hag is going to be sacked. I think tomorrow, Monday, we are going to be expecting a very huge deal to be put outside there. And Sir Jim Ratcliffe is yet to make a decision. This rests on his hands. It rests on him. And I tell you what, Thomas Tuchel is not a manager I would love to take over Manchester United. To give Thomas Tuchel the job, I'd rather give it Dizabi. That is it. Because I know he's going to hold Kobe Mainoo, Amad Diallo, Rasmus Højlund, and take them to where we deserve to be. You know, this group of young stars needs a manager who knows how to really develop these young stars. You know, and if this guy comes in through, I'll feel pity or sorry for Rasmus Højlund, Amad Diallo, Whitley, Kobe Mainoo, Alejandro Garnacho, and so on and so forth. And as I've always told you that Man City is outside there waiting for Manchester United to sack Erik ten Hag. And I tell you, Pep Guardiola will recommend Erik ten Hag to be appointed as the manager of Man City because he knows exactly what ten Hag commands and what he can do with the ball. And it will be very, very, very disastrous that a manager we sacked is at our neighbors making lots of transformations, winning trophies, and taking Man City to the skies and not Manchester United. So thank you very much for watching through onto that. I call upon for your reactions onto Tuchel impressing Sir Jim Ratcliffe down in Monaco. Let's go to John Evans. This is Tron Martial. Man United have offered John Evans a new contract. Obviously, I anticipated this was going to come in through because he's a player that can play for you 30 games a season. However much him being 36, he has going to have to maintain himself well. He has put his body in shape and he knows what the game of football is all about. And when he comes on the field of play, he never disappoints. He dies for the club. You remember, he played, I think it was in the game of Crystal Palace. He was unfit and he said, I'm going to play for the club of Manchester United. And he loves this club. It's his boyhood club and he doesn't want to leave. You get? So, all in all, we wait to see how this pans out. But I'm excited about his this offer to John Evans. He deserves it because he has gonna hate to work hard for it, and he deserves a new contract because when you look at the defense situation at the club of Manchester United, you cannot guarantee to us or to me that the new central defenders are gonna come in through, are gonna settle in, all fit in like a glove at the club of Manchester United. I doubt that they won't. So, all in all, I think you keep John Evans here, Lisandro Martinez here, maybe Lindelof and Kambuala, because Harry Maguire has high chances of leaving. Then you get in another one strike, one defender or two, and they'll fit in slowly by slowly because all the targets we're looking at, some are playing at the Olympics, some are playing at the Euros, apart from Gerard Braithwaite, who was really left out from the English national team. But Lenny Yoro is going to be playing into the Euros, you know. Maki Gehi is going to be playing into the Euros. Sorry, Lenny Yoro is going to be playing into the Olympics. You get? So, when you look at Goncalo Inacio, Portuguese national team, Diomande, I think he's going to be a variable. And I think Todibo is not going to be taking part, meaning that if you get into Todibo, all Gerard Braithwaite, all Diomande at the club of Manchester United, they will come in through and they will obviously be part of the preseason. We need that preseason to kickstart off on a high. And Jonny Evans will help you to see to it that he plays those games that we all really want to see him play. So, for me, I'm excited about Jonny Evans. And I think he deserves that contract. He loves the club. And you need that player that knows the culture. He is a winner at Manchester United. He'll obviously integrate well with the club of Manchester United when it comes to talking about how they won the Champions League in 2008, how they went ahead to win close to 5 trophies in his era of Jonny Evans, and so on and so forth. So, for me, I'm excited about that. But we need other defenders to come in through. Now, Wayne Rooney. Now, I think people tend to only look at what Sir Alex Ferguson did at Manchester United, but what he did at Aberdeen was incredible. You wonder if Guardiola could do the same thing in a team like Aberdeen. Now, for me, I don't want to water anything that Pep Guardiola is going to have to do, because I respect Sir Alex Ferguson. He's the best club manager alive in the game of football. No doubt about that. He has gone ahead to do a lot. But I tell you, this is really a debate that I don't want to go into. In Sir Alex Ferguson's era, he was the best. But when Pep Guardiola came in through, he schooled him. And by the way, for Pep Guardiola to school Sir Alex Ferguson for the very first time in 2009, I think we are playing in Roma, the final that ended 2-0. Were we playing at Wembley? Wembley or Roma, one of those. He never needed a budget to obviously annihilate him, because that team was there. And what he did was to really see to it that he gets in Pedro, and the rest of the players were already available. Because I remember that lineup that went ahead to beat Man United had Victor Valdez in goal, right back Dani Alves, left back was it Van Bronckhorst? Yeah, I think it was Van Bronckhorst. Then in the central defense, it was Puyol and Gerard Piqué. You get Puyol and Gerard Piqué. Then in the midfield, he had Sergio Busquets that he promoted from the side B of Barcelona. Then he partnered him with Iniesta and Xavi. The front three had Lionel Messi. It had Samuel Eto'o and Pedro. The bench had the likes of Thierry Henry, the likes of Yaya Toure, the likes of Ludovic Giuri, and very many other players. And he never even went into a transfer market to bring in players, But just in his first year of managing Barcelona, because he had gone ahead to knock out this Dutch manager. What was his name? I've forgotten his name. The Dutch manager that was managing Barcelona that we knocked out in the semi-finals 2008 to go in the final to beat Chelsea and win it. And after that, they brought in Pep Guardiola, and we played in 2 consecutive Champions League finals, and we couldn't obviously age that side of Barcelona. So let's give respect to Pep. Pep is the king of this generation, and Sir Alex Ferguson is the king of the other generation. And comparing them is really very hard, because Pep Guardiola is competing in a more competitive side. I tell you, in a more competitive side, in an era where a team like Aston Villa can spend more than Barcelona, in an era where a team like West Ham can spend more than Real Madrid. You understand? That's the era in which we are into, and that's why I tell you we should put respect to the names of these people. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Rock and David is my name. Your thoughts on to Tuchel impressing Sir Jim Ratcliffe. There is something I had forgotten to talk about Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Tuchel. I think that's why we are linked to Chalobah. Thomas Tuchel, while at Bayern Munich, he wanted Chalobah. You get? And Man United being linked to Chalobah, right? Shows you that there is a hand of a recommendation of Thomas Tuchel. That is it. So, What do you make about John Evans' new contract offered to him by the club of Manchester United? All that and more into the comment section below. Rokan David is my name. I sign out for now. See you later. First video of the day, and more is yet to come onto this beautiful channel of yours. Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum. How many likes? 400 likes on this video. We out.